This is KICU, TV 36 in San Jose. Now, from the South Bay and around the world, this is the news at 10.
Hello, everybody. In the news tonight, one man's adventure turned into a Secret Service nightmare. Despite some of the tightest security ever, a Denver tourist penetrated the Secret Service elaborate screening process. He walked right into the White House. 45-year-old Robert Latta said that he just wanted to see the inauguration of the president, so he walked into the White House with the Marine Band on January 20th. He roamed the executive mansion for 15 minutes before he was noticed and arrested. The Reagan family upstairs at the time. Latta arrested without incident and with no weapon.
You know, wondering why I wasn't being stopped. Further I got, the scarier I got, and then once I got up there, why, gee, everybody was walking around like nothing, and nobody seemed to pay much attention to me. So.
Latta spent 5 days in a Washington, D.C. jail charged with a misdemeanor for unlawful entry. He was originally referred for a psychiatric exam, but then he was released on a $1,000 bond pending a hearing in March. The Secret Service, meanwhile, beefing up its security procedures even more. A Lockheed Electra from Galaxy Airlines made an emergency landing on a foam-covered runway in Marietta, Georgia, after its landing gear failed. The Galaxy aircraft is the same type of plane that crashed in Reno last week, killing 68 people. In today's incident, no one was injured, as that 4-engine turboprop cargo plane made an emergency landing when the right landing gear would not go down. Bill?
Isabel, Governor George Deukmejian has appointed a 5-member commission of the state's new billion-dollar lottery. That action comes nearly 8 weeks past the constitutional deadline for those appointments in the lottery initiative that voters approved back in November 6th. Now, it's not expected that the commissioners will have enough time to begin the games by the initiative's March 22nd deadline. San Jose Mayor Tom McHenry spoke of progress and change in his 3rd annual State of the City address. TV 36's Cheryl Hurd reports on what the mayor plans to accomplish in his remaining 2 years in office.
Concise and to the point. That's how Mayor McHenry talked about the progress he has made during his 2 years in office. The mayor wanted to be optimistic, but the loss of $60 million in the bond market couldn't be ignored.
We're not a city free of troubles. We're not insensitive to the importance of what has passed. But they are past. We have learned. The city goes on.
Here are some of McHenry's goals for 1985. He wants to give financial aid to school districts, such as the truancy abatement program. He supports the proposed sports arena, and the mayor pushed recently the approval for 40 more police officers. Response to the mayor's State of the City address was mostly positive.
I think the visions that the mayor presented to us today are visions that are shared by a lot of us in this community.
I think that he's sincere in his hopes for the city, so I'm going to support him in every way I can. I was quite impressed by what Tom had to say, and I wish him well and pledge our cooperation from the city of Santa Clara.
I think it was a very good speech. I certainly do share his dream. The only thing is, I don't know how we're going to pay for it.
In the mayor's closing statements, he gave an overview on how the city of San Jose will look in the future. The success of his thoughts will take years to become a reality. In San Jose, Cheryl Hurd, KICU, TV 36 News.
And the mayor announcing the development of a new office to concentrate on environmental issues. That group will be appointed by the city council in the spring. One of the winners in the recently approved mid-year San Jose City budget review was the library system. Libraries received an additional $80,000 for the next year, and Betsy Gebhardt says that means that your neighborhood library will be open longer.
During the belt-tightening years of post-Proposition 13, San Jose's libraries were open less than 40 hours a week. Head librarian Homer Fletcher says that caused a drop in the numbers of people using San Jose's 17 branches.
The drop in usage was not commensurate with the number of hours that were cut. What it did, it compressed the usage in a shorter time span, so a heavier workload on the staff to handle that. I think, though, that it won't be too long with these hours back to 54 that we will see the circulation probably match or go ahead of what it has been.
In the last few years, with the economy looking up, Fletcher had been hoping for an increase in library hours. When last year's $60 million bond loss dealt a blow to city services, Fletcher's hopes nearly faded. But citywide support for the libraries is strong, and hours were extended. Library users say the increased service means a lot to them.
There are times where I'm working and I don't get off work until 5 o'clock, and most of the libraries are closed around that time, and now that they're going to be opening later, I have more time to come and read about whatever things I have to look up and everything, so I'm very happy about it.
It helps me with school because then I don't have to come here and not worry about my homework getting done, and I can finish my homework after school and then come here after that. So it helps a lot with school in that way.
I feel great about it. We need more studying time. You know, they close up so early, and you can't get enough time in the afternoon to get the homework done.
Starting in March, all San Jose's library branches, except El Viso, will be open 54 hours a week. And that's almost as many hours as there were before the 1978 Proposition 13 cuts. At the San Jose Main Library, Betsy Gebhardt, KICU, TV 36 News.
Head librarian Fletcher points out that they're your books, you paid for them, and now you have more opportunity to read those books.
Bill, it may not read like it in the newspaper, but for the third consecutive year, the crime rate in San Jose is down. According to the FBI, major crimes have decreased by 8% compared to last year. Although the statistics are encouraging, police say they don't mean anything to the crime victim.
We are cautioning people that although we've had a decrease for 3 years straight in serious crime, we still have more murders, more rapes, more robberies, and more assaults in 1984 than we had in 1978.
McNamara says that part of the reason for the decrease in crime is because the courts are handing out tougher sentences. A man nicknamed the real estate bandit because he allegedly preyed on real estate agents has been arrested. 37-year-old Atilano Molinar, Jr., taken into custody by sheriff's deputies outside Bart's Walnut Creek Station. Officers say he is a suspect in several Santa Clara Valley holdups of real estate agents.
Help may be on the way for up to 20 million Americans who suffer from genital herpes. The government now says that they have approved the first drug designed to treat or suppress recurring outbreaks of painful herpes sores. The pill, marketed under the trade name of Zorvarax, is expected to be on pharmacy shelves by mid-February. However, it will only be available by prescription.
Still time to voice your opinion on tonight's telepoll question. Should Purvis Short have made the All-Star team?
Sure, Purvis Short should have made the All-Star team. He's an All-Star. He second in the league in scoring. I was hearing about it last night. And he's just a real good ball player. He's a compliment to the Warriors. The Warriors are not too good without him.
Well, I don't really know anything about his Purvis Short.
Never heard of him before?
No, not till now.
Well, we've already heard from Purvis. He's not too happy, but you can still call our computer with your response at 575-1536, and we'll have the vote count later in the newscast.
And still to come on the news at 10, there's more trouble for Ed Meese on Capitol Hill. That chemical leak in Sunnyvale continues to spread. There's new worry about some nuclear power plants in California. We'll have the story of a 10-year-old girl with a broken arm who saves a boy's life. But next up on the news at 10, a look